Alright, where we came from. There's the other side. So to be clear, we shouldn't jump. Alright, we're coming up to Shoshone Ice Caves. Looks like they got somebody riding a dinosaur. Collapsed. I already feel the cool air coming out. Got nice and cool when we got in the shade.
Ice water just at the entrance to the cave. At the time, the cave entrance was only about 14 inches high and 2 foot across, and you could only go back about 10 feet into the cave because then it's just packed with ice. And we estimate that around the time of the discovery, there was about 300,000, sorry, braces make me talk funny, 300,000 tons of ice in there. So he went home, he told everyone about it, kind of like what any other 10-year-old boy would do, and they found someone cool like that. So word got out to family and friends, and then soon the whole town of Shoshone had heard all about this. At the time, this land wasn't actually owned by anyone, so you could kind of come here whenever you like. So people from Shoshone actually came here and they brought dynamite with them, and they blasted the front of the cave open so that they could harvest the ice. After they would harvest the ice, they would ship it all the way to the coast of Oregon, and they would use sawdust and straw to keep it cool in their train cars. Fun fact, the town of Shoshone was the first town known with ice cold beer all year round. Now you're the drunkest county in Idaho, But fast forward quite a few years, we don't know the exact year that this happened, but it was sometime in the early 30s. Someone decided to blast the back of the cave open, but by doing so they completely disrupted the airflow, which is essential to make it cold in here, and all the ice was completely melted away 15 years later. So sometime in the late 40s, the government took over this land, and they were only here for about 5 or so years, and they were just trying to figure out ways that they could restore the ice. They couldn't really come up with anything, so they soon decided that it wasn't worth their time or their money, so they abandoned the project and put it up for lease. In 1954, a man named Russell Robinson signed a 50-year lease on this. The first 14 years of his 50-year lease were spent trying to figure out the science behind the cave and just trying to figure out ways that he could restore the ice. After 14 years went by, he came to the conclusion that the airflow was disrupted, and it was pretty easy to fix the cave. All they had to do was seal it off with some rock in the back of the cave. I don't know why it took him 14 years to come up with that brilliant idea, but he did eventually. I don't know why the government couldn't think of that either, but there's no surprise there. So after they sealed the back of the cave off, they were getting some ice back. It would double them out each year for about 12 years, but our ice growing rate has slowed down quite rapidly, and now we're making anywhere from 4 to 8 inches of ice each winter. We're actually losing around 3 inches every summer, but that's just because we're always opening and closing the door and a lot of heat gets in. But the way our cave works is because of 2 main things. The first thing is the insulation. So most lava tubes are only 20 feet thick, but we've had so many eruptions that it's about 65 feet of solid rock. The second thing is probably the most important, is the perfect airflow. So we have the east and the west winds kind of meeting in this area. They create a nice warm breeze. It then comes in through the cracks in the back of the cave and expands out, creating a low pressure tube. And when things are low pressure, it's hard for them to hold heat, so it just wants to stay at freezing temperatures. And then we have a little spring that's in the rock, and that's where we get all the water from, and the spring gets its water from rain, melted snow, that kind of stuff. But we are about to go down to the cave. It's about 28 degrees in there. We have just over 25,000 tons of ice in there. It'll all be pretty much below us though. But the steps down there are kind of dark and slippery, a little steep, so just be really careful. Any questions before we go in? Okay, everyone ready? Yes. Okay.
Steps start serving. Yeah, the railings are wet. steps are wet. We're what, 20 feet in the cave, and there's also where that top light is, that's the entrance. We're already seeing ice. What are you doing? Breathing fire? Watch your head. There's some money in here.
It's frozen down all the way to the bottom of this cave, lava tube, whatever you want to call it. So you could stand on it, nothing would happen, it wouldn't crack or anything like that. It probably just slip, that's about it. But there's a few inches of water on top, and that'll all freeze over in winter. But if you look under where we were just walking, quite a few people are still standing above it. You'll see someone quite sticking out of the ice. That's actually part of the original boardwalk that Russell Rabbit. A lot of little kids ask me if this dark green right here is dinosaur footprint. Unfortunately, it's not. But we call it our wishing well, so you can throw a coin in there and make a wish if you want. That's actually what the box is.
Huh?
This board is wet and slippery. Can you see me? Very. Oh my gosh, it's a bear. Look at
Okay, I'll go get my boss. He can get his four-wheeler probably up to just past those Cordelia people, and he could probably get right from there. But I'll go get him.
Your breath. Oh.
It's a medical emergency.
Yeah, and? Oh, he's on the outside of the rail. Oh, it's not froze. Ooh, ah.
That's cool.
Like, came from. There's the other side. So to be clear, we shouldn't jump.